This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Bev's Video Kingdom really is brought to you by...
What the fuck?
What's up, dude?
One of my renters broke the toilet again. That dude takes giant shits. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Why don't you hire a property management company or something to take care of that stuff?
Because they suck, and they take 10%.
You know, our dude Hank owns and manages Heritage Realty Partners. I think he said he only charges 5%, and he visits each property at least once a month.
That's right. He's always posting beers from the road. You have his number?
Actually, I do. His personal number is 805-451-5734.
Perfect. Now he can deal with my renter's big shits.
Heritage Realty Partners.
For all your property management and investment needs.
Welcome back to Bev's Video Kingdom. I am your host, Scotch Beck, and this week we are doing a draft that is based off of last week's movie. We're fresh off the heels of The Wedding Singer, and so we are going to be drafting the most memorable cover song performed in a movie.
That sounds exactly right.
Is that about right?
Okay, I was exactly right. The performed is the key thing.
The performed is the key thing, and there's a couple little caveats that we'll talk about in a little bit. Before we get too far into that, again, I'm Scotch Beck. To my left, I got Bradley.
What's up? I'm here.
From last week, we have our very special guest, Carrie, hanging out with us.
Hello all, Carrie White here.
Oh, way to be
Live
back.
and direct.
Atta girl.
Yep. And then that deep, sultry voice.
I'm Nate.
We all know.
Nate, we didn't get to talk about it last episode, but how was draft school? We talked about last week or a couple weeks ago that you went off to draft school because you've really been struggling in these drafts. So we were wondering how that was. You said you were hanging out with Aaron Rodgers. Various hallucinogenics were involved. So how did that go?
I didn't pass.
Well, I think we're about to find out.
Okay.
Same old.
I gotta take it again.
Well, I like hanging out in caves with weird quarterbacks too.
Only 95% of the students pass.
So yeah, unfortunately, Zach is not here again this week. Like we said last week, he is
still shitting himself violently
for like a week straight.
Yeah.
So
word on the street is that it's coming out of both ends pretty aggressively.
Is that why the quarantine, like they have that whole tent over his house and everything?
Yeah,
they borrowed my COVID tent.
Oh, Jesus, man. That's
back in the day.
That's an absolute mess.
Apparently the house is just a true disaster zone.
So luckily he's not on like a draft streak because actually the person who won last draft was myself.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two. I'm just one right behind you.
I wasn't even there, so it's not even a legitimate win.
Right.
The Gov actually filed a protest in your honor.
He did.
That.
He did.
The Gov he's always got my back.
So before we get too much farther, let's do a little, as Casey likes to say at the network, a little house cleaning. And we are part of the Deluxe Edition Network. And you can find a bunch of great shows at deluxeeditionnetwork.com. It's May now, and there's 2 new pods of the month, Horsing Around and Our Boys, The Real Drunks. And it's nice to see the Real Drunks finally get their due because I think they joined about 3 days before we did.
Yeah, they were right before us. We've got Jake and Maddie and Alyssa out there doing good things, and they just did the classic Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yep, so good.
Zach would be happy about that. They should have had Zach on the episode.
I know.
Zach was shitting himself.
Yeah, so what else is going on with the Deluxe Edition Network these days, Brad?
Well, as you know, we all put you great listeners to the task, and we said, hey, could you guys cast some votes for us on the Denny's, the Deluxe Edition Network Awards? And just so you know, the Deluxe Edition podcast will be hosting, both on YouTube and audio, there will be an awards show later this month where we will find out, did we possibly get the pod of the year for the Deluxe Edition Network? We will check that out. And you also see your great crew here showing off who won the most memorable movie stoner award.
That's right. Yeah, we put up the first round of the stoner draft that we did back in September. And we're going to see who gets a little bit of extra bragging rights on who had the best stoner.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
All right. And then we got some other exciting news in the works right now. And I think we're going to announce it. Is this the first time we announced it? Or
we talked about it last week.
Oh, did we? I wasn't here. Oh, yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah, you're
I'm not smart.
That is going to be the Catalina Wine Mixer, folks. This is the second annual Modesto, California Catalina Wine Mixer taking place at the State Theater. And just so you know, your BVK boys are going to be hosting that motherfucker. It's going to be a wild evening of watching the Step Brothers movie on the big screen. There's going to be sushi and great grub provided by many great places from Modesto. There's going to be some great wine and breweries, including Last Call Brewing from Oakdale, California, as well as Dying Breed Brewing from Oakdale, California, are both going to be providing great beverages.
Beverages?
Beverages. Oh, it should be Bev, yeah.
We're Bev's Video Kingdom.
We're Brev's Video Kingdom. Welcome to Brev's Video Kingdom, where we're serving the best beverages you got out there. So it's going to be drinks, fun, laughs. There's going to be a trivia contest for those who are the giant Step Brothers fans. Those tickets will be on sale June 1st. So we will give you details on the socials, letting you know where you can purchase them, the cost and all that stuff. But I will say, mark your calendars, folks. August 12th, 2023, the motherfucking Catalina Wine Mixer is taking place in Modesto at the State Theater.
Yeah.
Boats and hoes.
Do not miss. Not miss.
So excited. It's going to be fun. Okay. That's enough of the house cleaning, as they call it.
That's a lot of house cleaning.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let's
take a nap?
Let's get into the reason why we're here. Why are we here, Brad?
Why are we here?
I think it's for this.
Jesus Christ. How long have you run that board? There's only 9 fucking buttons.
I forgot. I thought
They're
I
the
started
same
the episode
every
with this
single
one.
week.
You start with this one, and then I got to go to that one. That was just brain fart.
Man.
Do not edit that out. You have to be publicly shamed for this.
All right. After the public shaming, can you ask that question one more time, Scotch?
Brad, what time is it?
Jesus Christ.
Look at me, never missing a cue.
Oh, you're so good at that, aren't you? Do you guys want to talk about the caveats now, or should we talk about the draft order first?
Caveats.
Caveats.
Okay, so we are doing the most memorable, and I guess best could be thrown in there because it kind of goes a little hand in hand, but we're saying memorable. That's what I'm going to tell the judge. Okay. And most memorable covers performed.
Can you tell can we make sure you hear, like, we hear you tell the judge the caveats? I'm just saying.
Here it comes.
Could you CC us on that
all your
text
collusion
message?
talk. I mean, I already told them what my picks are.
Well, I know.
It's not like you guys are both in the same band of Brad's brother.
We do have a very special guest coming on in a little bit, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so we also discussed. Okay, so there's not going to be just like a cover playing on the radio or cover playing in the movie or whatever. So it has to be performed by somebody, by characters in the band, in the movie, right? And then we aren't doing any biopics.
No biopics. So like no Walk the Line.
Right. Or
no
La Bamba.
Rocket Man.
Right. So where the actor is the actual person who sang the actual song, so they're not actually singing a cover, even though it is a...
even if Johnny Cash does a cover song and Walk the Line, that doesn't count because
we're just going to get rid of all biopics.
all the professional musicians.
Right. that are playing somebody playing the song or whatever in the movie, right?
Now, karaoke.
If they're singing,
Yeah.
I think that's a performance.
Okay. Nate, how you feeling about karaoke?
I was just Googling best karaoke scenes in movies.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I say yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
So, okay, Carrie, you're following along here? You're good with
Taking
these
notes?
caveats? Okay.
How she literally has a notepad out. It's like
She does.
It might have flowers on it. It's hard to say.
So
Let's can we not ignore the elephant in the room here? Carrie, how are you feeling? Not that you're an elephant by any means,
elephant's over here.
but
Well, thank you.
how are you feeling about the fact that you're going to drag? This is like you kind of. It's Carrie. Carrie's a fan.
barriers right here.
Okay,
I'm a fan.
She's not even just a listener. She's a fan. She's active on the socials. She pops us a
I
message.
have
once in a while.
opinions.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Monday, midday, Zach texts us and says, "Guys, I've shit myself so much that I look like a shit monster.
That's exactly what
I'm
the text
gross.
said. They showed
I
me.
smell, and no one should ever probably get within 10 feet of me again." That's what he said. And so he says, "I'm not going to be there tonight." And so we're like, "Well, who should we ask?" And we're kind of, and we're like, "What about Carrie?" This is the equivalent of like showing up at like the A's game and they go through 6 pitchers like they have been. There's nobody else in the bullpen and they're like, "Fuck it. That guy looks like he has an arm."
And I smell slightly better than shit. Slightly.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's
a fan is coming out of the audience.
And just no
Put me in,
prep.
coach.
Exactly. So is this, you said you hadn't
A
even been,
notepad and number 2 pencil.
and you're feeling pretty good about it?
Well, what are my odds?
Yeah.
How do the guests
her
do?
Well, this is what's exciting is because I'm actually, for the first time, I'm rooting
Ooh.
because the highest a guest drafter has placed, other than myself, which I don't count anymore because I'm part of the show,
Right.
is 3rd place, I believe.
There's been 3 third places and 1
Last.
fourth place.
Yes.
So
And I would just love it if she just came out of nowhere, like hours notice, and just came in and
no pressure.
got 2nd place.
Knock
I
it
liked
out.
my low bar, though.
Oh, you said second place.
Right-
You
right-
get
right behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Calm down. It's on.
Yeah,
kidding?
I was just gonna say, fuck that. I need to win. I'm not that nice.
second place.
I
A
would
nice
love-
solid second place.
I would love a great showing, and it's awesome. She's the first female drafter that we've had.
This is true.
which is historical.
Just
boy.
showing our
God, the misogyny is
showing our
terrible.
misogyny right on.
I
The
know.
pressure.
We just slapped our misogyny right on the table. You know?
just a loud
Just-
thump.
Yeah.
Edit that out.
So anyway,
That
yeah,
was all of us combined. If it was just one of us, it'd be like a little.
It was like, somebody drop a small pencil, mechanical pencil, not even that heavy wood, just hollow.
So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Were there any other things we discussed as far as caveats? I think that's pretty much it. I guess if something else comes up that we need to discuss, we will.
We might argue about it.
Yeah.
That would be unprecedented. But we'll probably do it.
We usually
Okay.
have it all ironed out ahead of time.
Yeah. Once we get all the caveats, there's never any
Never
problem
disagreement.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good.
Okay. So Brad, I think we need a draft order.
Yeah, and you know what? ChatGPT has been very good to us lately, so I decided to get a little creative with this one, and let's see how it goes. So again, this will be me reading just as ChatGPT draws it up. So here we go. Fade in. Wedding reception hall night. Robbie Hart stands on stage strumming his guitar as he addresses the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here tonight, celebrating the love of these 2 wonderful people. But before we continue, I want to take a moment to talk about my new friends. They're a group of movie buffs who host a podcast called Bev's Video Kingdom. I met them at a screening of The Empire Strikes Back, and we've been hanging out ever since. The crowd cheers as Robbie takes a deep breath and starts to strum a new tune. Brad, Carrie, Nate, and Scotch are the coolest friends that I've got. They know all the best films to watch, and their podcast is always hot. The melody picks up, and Robbie starts to dance around stage, his energy contagious. Now they're gearing up for a draft of their favorite movie songs, and they've asked me to help them out by choosing their draft position. The crowd cheers again, and Robbie takes a deep breath before continuing. So here we go, from last to first. These are the positions that they'll get. Scotch will be picking first, followed by Brad. That's no sweat. Nate will be picking third, and Carrie will pick fourth and last. But let's be honest, they're all winners in this movie song draft. The crowd erupts in cheers as Robbie finishes his song and steps away from the microphone, waving to the audience. Good luck with your draft, guys. I can't wait to hear what songs you pick. The The crowd cheers as Robbie exits the stage, feeling proud of his new friends and the excitement they bring to his life. What a fucking twist of events at this wedding. He's at a wedding. He just goes off about a draft.
I mean, that kind of checks out, right?
Right.
Like, this is not the craziest thing that Robbie Hart's ever done at a wedding.
Yeah, and then he just completely just leaves the stage after it. He's like, hold on, I got to type my favorite podcast for a second. And then he bounces.
Okay, so what the hell was the order?
Oh, my Lord. So it says we had Scotch will be picking first, followed by Brad. That's no sweat. Nate will be picking third, and Carrie will pick fourth and last. That's an interesting way to say that. She will pick fourth and last.
Did you made that up, or that was ChatGPT?
That's the man. That one whole verse didn't even rhyme. I don't know what's going on here, but
First thing when you said fourth and last, I said, so I got the reach around, and then I remember it's the wraparound. Right. It's the wraparound. So
no, it's affectionately referred to as the reach around.
It's the reach-a-rito.
Yeah, the reach-a-rito.
You've got the reach around.
I'm not.
There's a thing called
I'll take the
hazing.
wraparound.
Welcome.
She's the first and last female ever.
Right.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
Scotch,
all right.
you're lead off.
I'm
and
leading
then me, and then Nate is in the terrific position of third. Just so you know, listeners, third has still not won. The third position has
No,
still
didn't Scott win one from the third spot?
not this season.
last season I did.
This year, third is absolutely defeated.
Yeah.
Well, get ready to have that change.
Yeah, I've had it. I think I've had it like the last couple times, it seems like.
Yeah, that's intentional.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to make if you're going to start cheating, I'm going to start cheating, okay? That's how it works.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's
He's
right.
just going to pretend like he messed up the first take so we can re-record the draft order.
I actually wanted the first pick.
I know. Right? Okay, so in true Scotchback fashion, I'm going to probably like get disqualified right out of the gate. We'll
this
see
is
what
awesome.
happens because this, to me,
You can't ever do worse than Nate picking like 4 movies in a row that all got disqualified.
Thank God.
We don't talk about that.
to me, it's the absolute one of one, and I absolutely think it totally qualifies. And it's Whitney Houston singing "I Will Always Love You"
Cross it off the list.
in The Bodyguard because
It is a cover.
it's a cover of Dolly Parton, and it's Rachel Marin singing it. It's not Whitney singing about her.
I
own
never
life.
knew that.
So,
Yeah, it's in
so
the
it counts.
movie. It's
True.
in the movie.
Okay.
She sings.
Yeah.
That's. I checked that this afternoon because I was
Yeah.
like, I've never seen the movie, and
You've never seen The Bodyguard?
why would I watch that?
What do you even watch?
A lot of good
Lot of
movies
YouTube.
like Married with Children,
Lot of
and
YouTube.
TV. Well, there wasn't YouTube
Lot
back
of
then.
reels. No, I'm just saying you've been waiting for YouTube and not watching movies all these years.
That's true.
That is
That's
amazing.
so good because I would say more people would credit that to her than, I mean, not to give Dolly.
Oh
any-
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no, I
Dolly's
think-
version's not terrible.
Yeah, not to reduce Dolly by.
I was
any
like
means, but-
brokenhearted after an 8th grade dance once. And I just came home and listened to that song over and over again. spoke to me.
But yeah, no,
Iconic.
to me, I think that's just hands down one of one. Just such a huge song. Whitney at her absolute peak.
Okay, but let
And-
me just shit on that pick a little bit. So
Please.
totally. If you take yourself outside the movie, incredibly impactful. I have no memory of her singing it in the movie, and I watched
it's
that.
the
movie.
very end.
End of the movie.
Yeah, it's like the very end, which
cool.
which is funny
I still
because
don't remember it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I started thinking about it more. I was like, it's not that memorable of a scene
in the movie.
In the movie, is
Yeah.
the song fucking the most memorable thing probably from our childhood? Just about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But it's her literally on stage singing it, and like that's the whole last part of it, and then it has like a little fade out on him.
see, I think of the music
So,
video more though.
yeah.
I think of the music
Right,
video
her flipping her
version.
head up in the
Yeah.
chair, leaned over on her knees. Yeah.
Yeah, she's over the top of it, like hanging out.
Way to overthink it, Scott. Okay, great.
All right,
All right, Brad, Carrie, who's up?
Brad.
Brad.
Okay, so that was kind of where I was going to go number one, but now
He just shit on it. That's
Why?
where he was going to go number one.
I think I'm going for this is I love.
Literally shit on it. He's like, that's where I was
Oh
going to
yeah,
go.
I probably was going to take
idiot.
that number one, even though I have to shit on it. Yeah, why would I not shit on it?
Good point.
I didn't take it.
All right.
Okay, so I think this one's pretty obvious as well, and in fact, I think it's just great because I get to choose from my heart as well as from.
I know
my
exactly
brain.
where you're going. I do it.
Number one off my list.
A little Johnny Be Good. Michael B. Keaton out there doing some work. Was his name Michael B. Keaton?
P. Keaton.
Michael P. Keaton? All right. So
Alex P. Keaton.
Alex
P. Keaton. Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
That was their love child, Michael B. Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was funny. Is like, I was at lunch today, and I have lunch with my mom every day because I work on the ranch, and I was like,
Does she make you peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
yeah, I cut the crust off and everything. It's good. But I just go, Mom, can you think of any cover songs and for movies, whatever? Just I usually never ask her about any of these things, whatever. And the first thing she said was Johnny Be Good, and I was like, and I hadn't thought of it yet, and I was like, oh my God! I go, Brad is going to take that if I don't for sure. And that'll be his number one pick.
That's truth.
I love it that Scott says he usually never talks about. I swear you've recounted like 6 conversations where you've been like, Mom, I got a draft coming up.
maybe.
So it's actually Mama Beck that's winning all these drafts. She's in his ear the whole time.
It's the one episode that Nate listened to. He listens to it on repeat, so it sounds like you've done it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, Nate.
By
the way, why do we cover Almost Famous every week? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I'll say that was the first, I think, performance that I remember getting like chills in. That I remember as a child watching that and not being able to tell if it was real or fake. And
Johnny
like,
Good,
that's
yeah.
good. That was memorable.
I
That was
think
a
the
good
one thing that did stand out to me when I was young is that it's so obviously not him singing. Like,
Right.
I think it's just.
But didn't it feel good?
Oh yeah,
God,
no.
that felt good.
Oh, and him doing the duck walk and all that stuff. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's outstanding.
Like, I don't think I was even at an age to know what nostalgia was, but it felt nostalgic and amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a great
Can't believe
call.
you took it.
I mean, I just love that Marty McFly brought rock and roll to the masses.
Marvin Berry.
It's your cousin Marvin.
All right.
Marvin Berry.
So this is one. I don't know if you're going to think it's off the wall or not, but I love it, and I'm going to take it.
Okay.
Is this worth a first round? Just
Did
talk
you-
to yourself again.
Did you learn this?
I've only got like 6 things on my list, so yeah, it's
Okay.
worth it.
Okay.
I'm taking a very a cappella performance here, and you guys already think you know where I'm going, but you don't.
No, because I thought I was.
You think I'm going to the PP, but I'm not going to do the PP.
No Pitch Perfect, huh? What
Tiny Dancer in Almost Famous.
cross it off my list. I'm not going to do well.
Hold me closer.
I love that pick,
Bus scene.
and I didn't even think of it. I don't know how.
Dude, it's so like
That's a good pick.
I actually think that you can. I think I've seen articles showing that like sales of that song went way up
for
after
sure.
that movie released.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a karaoke. It's not. I guess it's a performance.
They're actually singing.
But the radio starts it. They're listening on the radio and they're just singing along.
There's no rules on how it starts.
Yeah, they
It's a
sing
memorable
the song
performance.
along. It's super memorable.
If it's them like doing a lip sync, I don't think it counts.
right, but
they are singing. It's their
They all
voice.
start
But
singing.
if it's their real voices, I'm guessing it is. Well, some sound like shit, so I think it's them
Yeah.
really singing. So I think it absolutely counts.
well, it doesn't matter if they really sing anyway, because as long as they're not as long as we don't believe they're over singing over the radio, but if like they dub in the voices, but we think the characters are singing them, that qualifies.
So if I'm driving in my car, I'm doing cover songs all the time because I'm like singing along with the radio.
yeah, as long as you're singing, yeah. No one would ever choose that as a memorable experience, but you definitely it qualifies.
But my
like-
repertoire is my albums are. I've got many albums of cover songs.
Hundreds, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I say yes.
No. I'm
think it-
100%. I'm not
Okay.
going to try to kill it. No,
Okay.
no doubt.
All right, Carrie, on the reach.
Carrie, you've got 2 picks in a
picks in a
row.
row.
The pressure.
2 picks.
Okay, so I don't really know how to strategize here. Do I go with my heart? Do I go with what I don't want to get stolen first?
In my
That's a question that has
experience,
submarined many a
both are
draft.
fraught.
That's the fun part about drafting.
All right, I'm going to go. We'll reach back to the 80s again. You've Lost That Loving Feeling, Top Gun.
Oh God,
Gotta
that's
take it.
good.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Got to.
I didn't even have that on my list
How do you, of all people, not have that on your list?
because I only have like 6 things. On
Oh
it.
my God.
Put your phone down.
I'm still looking.
Yep. That is I had that on my list for sure.
God, that's amazing.
It's a really
For
good.
I
fear
was-
of it getting stolen.
Probably going to pick that up if it was coming back to me. Shit.
Okay.
And for my next, I got to go with my heart. I got to take it because if I don't get this, I will be upset. I'm going to go with Kiss, Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts in the bathtub. Because also, you don't hear Prince stuff out there. Until he passed away, you wouldn't hear a Prince thing anywhere. But somehow, some way, we got Prince and Kiss. And hate to admit it, but that was my favorite movie in elementary school. So here we are.
That's a good one.
Is it a good
Pretty
movie? I've
Woman
never
was
seen
your
it.
favorite movie in elementary school?
It was, and
We need
unfortunately,
to
I'm
dig down
a mother
into
of 3 girls. And when my children, my older 2 were 10 and 12, I was so excited when Pretty Woman came on
You're
on
like,
Saturday. I'm like,
it's time, girls.
You guys got to watch this. It's the cutest movie. Oh my God, just wait. I was thinking about the shopping. I was thinking about the divots in the
Mom,
turf
what's a
flipping back over.
prostitute?
My God.
What's she doing
it was
on that
lost
piano?
on me. I remember the Aston Martin. I wanted his car. Like he was grinding the gears. And yeah, the first thing they're like, why are we watching this? I'm like, yeah, you know what? We should turn this off. It was lost on me that she was a lady of the night. I totally forgot about that. So
We were so
lost her
innocent
teeth. It
back
was
in the day.
awesome.
We watched so much stuff above our age levels. It was great.
That's why I'm so warped.
Hooker with a heart of gold.
gave
All
me a
right.
kiss though.
All right.
That's a good pick. That's a nice little rap right
Nice
there.
little rap, dude.
Okay.
Just real quick, just so you know, on the score sheet here, I'm putting the name of the person, the song, and then the movie. I'm not putting the who actually performed, like who's the actual original artist or anything like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
The character and the song.
Yeah,
That should
so I
be
just put
enough.
Julia Roberts, Kiss, Pretty Woman.
Right. Yeah, that should do it.
Okay.
But then I'm not consistent here because for Top Gun I put Goose and Mad. You've lost that loving feeling. Top Gun.
No,
That's okay, right? Because I'm just
He'll
giving.
know,
As long as we
the
remember,
judge
right?
will know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If it's something super
I was like,
obscure,
unless it's not memorable, and then
right. That's the point.
we're
Yeah.
in trouble.
Just YouTube it, motherfucker.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go with one that I think some version of this has been picked for other drafts, and I'm always like, what are you doing? But I've learned
Interesting.
maybe I've learned my lesson. I'm taking Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. 10 Things I Hate About You.
I started to YouTube that and then I stopped.
Why?
That's
because I was saying
Maddie.
Because it wasn't as good as
McConaughey?
that performance.
It's Matthew McConaughey.
No, it's Heath Ledger, dude.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
You think I've watched this movie?
Ooh,
Have some respect for The Departed.
your movie list seems longer than I would expect for this type of a podcast.
I drafted him as a handsome young man in our best looking dudes draft. So I got lots of respect for Heath Ledger.
He didn't make the
You
cut.
drafted a dead guy in our our hottest movie.
I said after he died, that's the actual Heath Ledger I'm taking. Casket pictures.
God, dude. Are you trying to say things that we have to edit out?
Oh my gosh.
10 things I hate about you.
Yep.
10 Things I Hate About You.
What was the song? I don't remember what
Can't take my
Can't
eyes
take
off
my
you.
eyes off of you.
Is that
I love you, baby.
Oh, okay.
Good song.
Nate, you've got a good draft going here from the third spot. I'm pretty proud of you.
Yeah.
Good. I only have 2 things left, so hopefully they work out.
You must have paid attention
I
at
have a
draft
feeling
school.
he's going to snag one of mine.
Brad.
Yeah,
Knowing
draft
Nate,
school. Do
tracking-
they practice a
tracking
lot
Nate.
of third pick drafting from the
Oh,
draft
yeah.
school?
There's a whole semester devoted to the third pick.
Oh, man, that's tough. Okay. Oh, man, my list is actually quite long and
Distinguished like your Johnson.
yeah.
That's from Top Gun. Sorry. Tying it into your
I was
pick.
going to laugh at that.
Let's see. So, man, there's so many good ones here that I could go with, and it's very tough. I'm trying to think now a little bit more for the judge. What's he going to like?
Don't pander.
Have you done this before?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Let me go back to the top of my list. Yeah, this is the right way to go. Barry Jive in the Uptown 5. High Fidelity.
Yeah, I thought
Let's get it on.
I thought that might last. go
Jack
to-
Black.
That might drop to my rap.
Jack
That one I
Black
have.
just doing
Cross it off
Jack
my
Black
list.
things.
Before he was
Oh.
Jack Black too, right? Right?
This is kind of one of his big, this kind of, I mean, I think Tenacious D was already kind of a thing.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like it's pre-School of Rock. It's pre.
I think that was the
Right.
first time I really knew that
Yeah,
he had
oh,
some
yeah.
thinking chops.
No, I think High Fidelity was really. I mean, did he have any big movies before High Fidelity?
Just small parts. Like he was in
Yeah.
Cable Guy.
Yeah, he had
That's
some
definitely his
smaller stuff.
breakout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's God, you took that out of my top. I thought that would drop to me on the rap for sure. All right, but
It was at the top of my list. I'm like, if I put that there first, I put it there for a reason. So that's what I went with.
there you go. That's a good strategy. So my next pick is the next thing on my list, and it's one of the most iconic party scenes that's ever been in film, as far as I'm concerned. It's a movie that I know Brad probably hasn't seen it. We've talked about it many times on the pod. It's a song that I've played in my band many, 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 many times at many a wedding. You make me want to shout. Animal House.
Oh.
That scene where they're just throwing their hands up in the air, they're getting down, they're on the togas.
That's good.
Yep, just amazing scene, amazing song, so much energy. That's my next pick.
Is that a cover? Like, isn't there a band playing?
Isley Brothers wrote the song originally.
Right, and then so there's a band playing, and
Right.
they're all just dancing. Okay,
But they're not being the Isley brothers in the
Right.
They cover,
performance, right?
They cover the song Shout.
Got it.
Their version is way more famous than
Ooh.
the Isleys
well, because it's a lot more fast paced, and they do all the
Yeah, but
Okay.
if you've ever heard the recording of it, it's definitely that version from Animal House.
And it also brings up one of our favorite old memories from the pod, which is the story that Nick told about Nick giving the quick high kick to his friend's wife. Kicks her in the face doing the shout song at a wedding.
So good.
That's an all-timer.
Oh, Nick, we miss you. All right, so you got one more here.
The Raparito. Yeah, this one, it's in my top little slot here. I'm going to go with how I ranked them. Very cool scene with George Clooney. Old-timey movie. Man of Constant Sorrow. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
You know, I hate that movie, and I don't know why.
You hate it? Like,
No,
hate?
I don't hate it. It's that I think it's that like I didn't get into it, and I felt like I should. So maybe it's that I hate myself for not liking it. I can't.
I'll
It's
go
hard
with
for me
that.
to sort these things out.
I'll co-sign that with you.
Okay.
I'll hate you for not liking it.
Sometimes it's a lot of self-flagellation here on Bev's Video Kingdom.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird movie. I mean,
I felt like I should like it, and I like bluegrass, and I
So, do you like the music?
I don't know. I'm not even sure I've seen it.
It's a great movie. This is a movie I love, and I've watched it numerous times.
I'm
and I think it's
100%
great.
not going to watch it.
It is such a
It's
great
so
movie.
good.
If I watched it, I take it back.
Okay, we've talked about some funny lines from my brother, and I think my brother is the one who said when he started watching this, he's like, I started watching it, and I just felt this movie's too good for me to watch.
And stopped.
And he stopped.
That's a new one.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
That's an
Yeah,
amazing.
He said, I just
Will
feel
he
like it's just
achieve-
too good of a movie, and I shouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Will he achieve a level that he's, made one day to be able to watch it? Is that,
I guess
or
I
is that
should
a
ask
kind
him,
way of
like, hey
saying,
man,
like-
are you
Well,
up
no,
to the
because
task
he's
yet?
now decided that he only watches movies
He's already seen
before. So
okay.
it's over for him.
That's his thing.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'm back, and I'm going to save this last one for last, but there's like 3 I want to have on my team, but I only have 2 picks left, and that's not fair.
It isn't fair.
How do you know somebody else isn't going to grab them?
Oh, there's some that are just fun. They're like laugh out loud funny, and there's some that are serious, and I just don't know which way to go. All right, so how about a fun, silly performance
How about it?
of a song when you're not even wanting to cover a song, but you're forced to cover a song?
Okay.
Day-o,
Oh, Beetlejuice.
day-o.
Okay.
So, okay.
Take me to
Is it the
task.
artist playing it though?
That's what I'm. So
she lip syncing?
Are they?
They are singing. It's coming out of their mouths because they can't control themselves.
What
But are
movie
they?
are we talking about?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
When they're all around the table,
I don't know.
It.
they all get
Some
forced.
possessed.
They're possessed and they start singing it, and they're actually singing it, and they can't control themselves, but they're doing the dances and everything.
I know they're dancing. I know they're being possessed.
But is that the actual song? Is that the
let
actual
him
preferred
take it.
song?
For the
Okay.
love of God, this is going to ruin
Yeah.
his draft.
Yeah.
Yes, you
counts.
get it,
Oh,
Brad.
then I'll be quiet.
Wait a second.
I'll be quiet.
The person who they're singing along to the radio, Nate's like, that's a cover song.
But they're singing on the
I have
bus.
no objection to it. I want you to take this. This
They
is
are
a
singing,
terrible
the
pick.
sound is coming out of their mouths.
I don't remember the.
I think that's in
Brad,
Okay,
Beetlejuice.
you're
I'll
missing
remember that on my round.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all from the movie, so I have
That's
no
good news.
objection. I just want you to take the pick.
It is one of the more memorable scenes that I can think of in the movie. And I actually thought of it, but I didn't write it down because I wasn't sure if it counted.
So let me get this straight. It was one of the more memorable scenes in a movie that hardly anyone ever remembers or thinks about. Great. Perfect. A good pick, bro.
You really when we say Deo, the Banana Boat song, you can't picture that
I
scene?
literally thought you were talking about the movie Cocktail.
Actually, though, I can almost go.
Okay.
But
I was
no,
like, did Tom Cruise sing in that movie? I don't remember that. Okay.
Hippie shake.
There you go.
Hippie shake.
Yeah, okay, same thing. All right, so
Addicted to Love at the bar, at Cocktail. Sorry. I'm giving you
It's a new
picks. I'm just
podcast
throwing you
now.
Yeah,
picks.
we're doing all
New show.
surrounds right now. What the fuck?
it's a good pod. Okay. I'm going to continue. I'm really struggling here. All right, I'm going to go with it. So this is a movie that I haven't seen.
It always works out well.
Thank you, Google.
But when I was introduced to this clip, I watch it sort of obsessively. And somehow I haven't decided that this makes me want to watch the movie, but it came up on one of our previous pods and I was like, oh, I'd not heard of it, not really seen it. So I Googled it. I watched this one clip and I probably watched it 50 times.
The pool scene from Showgirls?
I own that on VHS and DVD. I'm talking about Try a Little Tenderness from The Commitments.
That's a good pick, dude.
I love it, dude. It's not just, and this is one that it's not just the sound. It's the way the guy's mouth looks when he sings. It's like he has this crazy cave-like, snaggly-toothed mouth that just...
So his name's Andrew Strong. That's really him singing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he's 16 years old.
In that movie?
Yes.
You're shitting me.
I am not shitting you.
He looks like he's in his mid-20s and his command is incredible.
And I can't believe you haven't seen that movie because it is fantastic.
So I haven't seen it and I keep thinking that
But you have a good memory though.
For what does that have to do with anything?
For our judge, I think he's said he's a fan of this movie.
Oh, it's a great pick for him.
Did he?
Oh, it's a great
I don't-
bullshit.
Oh, look
I
at him
swear I didn't
feigning
remember
like
that.
he does not know.
Oh my Lord.
I didn't know
I've never
anything
met
about
this
that.
person in my life, so
And she knows. God damn.
I didn't know anything about that.
that's how this goes. though.
Apparently an unintentional pander.
This is
and
how we
it's
play.
amazing.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. All right. Carrie, you get your final 2 picks here.
Rippity rap.
And you've done well.
So this
far.
is where I might be thinking I might face my first potential disqualification. I don't know if this counts, but
I took the seance scene and I got ripped, so I can't be that.
okay. Memorable for me. And I think it counts as a lyric, although there might be one. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Pee-wee Herman on the bar in his platform shoes for tequila. Does that count as a lyric? They do say it at the end. They all shout collectively tequila. Does that count
shit.
as a performance?
I say it counts. That's a wild pick.
It's not my fault. There's only one lyric.
He does at one point. He yells. What does he yell? He starts throwing all the glasses. He says something. He
Like he's performing.
Yeah,
it's
he's
him.
Definitely.
Oh no!
performing.
I mean, he points at his crotch and his butt repeatedly.
And I'm telling you now, hey, everybody out there going to prom is wearing his suit. We might have made fun of him, but that's memorable.
I love the pick.
Oh no! Forget about that.
Not
count?
on my list.
I did that dance move thousands of times. I performed that song repeatedly. I didn't even know the word was tequila
I love
in the
it.
song. I just
I love
like to
it.
point at myself.
That's crazy. That's a good pick. I never even saw that coming. That's amazing.
All right,
This is hard though. Okay.
Last pick. This is it.
she's covering her mouth.
This could make or break
No,
your
because
entire
I'm
team.
surprised. There's actually a couple that I'm surprised that Nate hasn't gotten into. Cover though. Okay. Hold on. Most memorable performance of a covered song.
Yeah.
I seriously have one left.
I like it that she's like 3 picks deep, and she's like, "Okay, let me clarify again. What exactly is the category?" So
I'm buying time
It's
on it.
most memorable.
She's vamping.
Okay.
It's all right.
We're
We can
talking
do some
about
vamping.
music. Okay.
Okay.
Scotch, have you ever covered a song before?
I've covered one or two.
Okay.
Just
I
a
was
couple.
wondering.
I meant to ask Scott about this early in the episode, and then I just got lazy.
About if he's ever covered a song.
No, well, yeah.
What's his favorite cover song?
No, just like what like how you feel about covering songs versus like playing your original shit. Because like you cover a song, and it sends people into a frenzy.
Well, yeah, dude. It's definitely weird because even like bands that actually record a cover of a song and release it, and that ends up being their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Like that would be weird to me.
Well, the American Pie 2 soundtrack, it had the Alien Ant Farm, wasn't it? The Smooth Criminal or something
Exactly.
like that?
That's the only song I've ever heard from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made them millions of dollars.
Right. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but it would kind of be a bummer to have your biggest hit be a cover. But as far as being a guy that's played fucking thousands of covers, it's always fun to play somebody else's song and have people freak out on it.
Yeah.
You know, and I love playing covers because you learn a lot. You're playing different styles you never would have thought to play, and so it makes you a better musician. And sometimes cover bands get shit on. It's like, oh, you're just a cover band, whatever.
I love a cover band.
And dude,
I travel all around California to watch my favorite Prince cover band at least 5 to 6 times a year. It's the saddest thing I've ever admitted, but I'm like,
let me just.
No, if he's no longer there, you got to get that.
that's my
fixed
justification.
somehow.
I'm like, that's
Other
but still.
musicians can be dicks about cover bands, is what I should have said, not people
That's
in
fair.
general. So anyway, but yeah, no.
I love Nickelback cover band. That's a big fan of it.
You're gonna cut all that dead air out.
Do not edit that.
Nate's eyes were darting around. And he's like,
No one
they
makes
know
eye
I'm
contact with
fucking with them. All right,
Okay.
did we vamp long enough?
Oh, okay. God, I'm gonna regret this, but I cannot confirm nor deny that my other one is not just a lip syncing performance. So I'm gonna go with "All You Need Is Love," "Love Actually" from the Beatles intro song because it's beautiful, it's memorable, it opens dramatically, and I'm probably gonna regret that one.
We're talking about all the people in the wedding playing the song. That's
yeah,
good one.
pulling out the
That's a
curtains and there's people popping up
that's a
everywhere with
great-
instruments and
I thought Nate would grab that for sure.
that's what I was, and he didn't, and he seems to still be Googling, so I'm going to go for it. If he's not pulling Love Actually, I'll take it.
Nate, how the fuck did you not have that on your list?
Shh. Moving on.
I didn't prep well.
He's literally
But you've
prepping
seen
now.
it.
Go with that.
At least this one you've seen.
If,
I have
if
seen
you
that
sent
one.
this list to me right now, there's I would put like pretty much my mortgage and everything on that Team 4 is Nate. Like I would be like, that's Nate.
And I had two from that.
No doubt.
Two from that movie.
Top Gun, Love Actually, Pretty Woman, Pee Wee. Like that's you.
For the record.
Wait, how
He's
good of a
also, he's also
relationship
my
does he
best
have?
friend. He's also
Okay.
my best friend. So come
How
on.
good of a relationship with the judge is that might work out in my favor then.
Hey.
I don't know how Matt feels about me. All right. God, I actually, despite all my kidding, I do have a handful here that I really want to take, and there's two in particular that are tying me in knots. But I think I got to go with the one from the bigger movie that just tickles my tickle spot. I'm going with the Dan Band's adaptation of Total Eclipse of the Heart from the Wedding Crashers.
That's a good pick.
He's wearing his t-shirt.
Turn around, bright eyes.
Yeah.
Like, you better get
Edward's in there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
Okay.
it's a great one. Yeah, by the way, she almost said it. No one's taking a t-shirt. Is it going to happen?
Uh-huh.
Oh, is it going to happen? We
I
got
don't
two
know.
picks to go.
All right.
But
so,
which t-shirt do you wear? I don't know.
I think
You don't have
there's
to,
a
you
there's
don't
a
have to.
there's a clear one if you're going to take it.
fuck, I'm going out left field. I don't even care anymore. This one I almost wasn't going to do, and I hadn't, like, my eyes kept skipping over it when I was looking at my list, and there was definitely like 2 or 3 other ones I want to do, but this just caught my eye, and I was like, fuck it, we're doing it. It's go time. I mean,
Pixar.
yeah, adjacent.
I'm probably gonna have to cross this one off the list.
It's adjacent, and it is from a classic cinema piece from early 90s. A little bit of cartoon mixed with a little bit of real live action. And, you know, a cartoon character is not supposed to make you feel certain.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
But when Jessica Rabbit gets out there on stage and does Why Don't You Do Right? Oh, my
That was good.
Lord. That is a performance.
no
Rabbit though.
no cartoon character ever sparked so many young boys'
man.
first experience.
Yeah,
as
Minnie Mouse
Jessica
can go fuck
Rabbit.
herself because Jessica Rabbit's got it going.
Wow.
She's not bad. She was just drawn that way.
I can't believe you didn't take a Muppet song. Like, there's so many.
I can't
Muppet
even say what I
covers.
can't believe he didn't take because it might still be.
Yeah, we got one. We
Take
got
it.
one more
So,
pick, and then
I'm gonna be
also
quiet.
Rans is gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
great.
right.
I can't wait for
Scott-
also
A lot of also rans. Man. So many I could go with. Okay. I don't really hit this genre very often.
Pixar, sweet.
Not Pixar. I'm going with a little bit of rom-com. One of my favorite rom-coms. They're in a restaurant, and they have a little sing-along. It's my best friend's wedding. Say a little prayer for you.
So,
how did that one?
So I
go
thought
this
about that
long?
one, but I couldn't decide between that and Just Don't Know What to Do. The terrible karaoke.
That was good too.
And so I was like,
What is the movie?
It's my best friend's wedding.
It's kind of little flick with some
Very
unknown
memorable.
actresses.
Yeah. Cameron Diaz, Julia Roberts.
So just a couple. Of
So
B-level
wait,
actors.
who's singing the song?
Everybody.
The ensemble.
So
everybody.
I need a description for like the first part. Like, so ensemble.
Ensemble
Diner?
cast. Yeah.
Or just say no. It's not diner. It's like ensemble
Restaurant scene?
Restaurant scene. Yeah. If he knows, he knows.
Yeah, he'll
if he
know.
doesn't,
He'll know.
Scott's gonna lose.
Yeah. He should. I'm pretty sure he's seen that.
Oh, so inside information. Then,
No,
huh?
I'm just
Did you
guessing he's
text
seen
him
it.
your list or? Okay, perfect.
Your list is actually you hit the nail on the head. Like that's all up his alley. I think you've.
So the one that I really regret is the.
Whoa! It's not Also Rans. Also Rans is when our judge gets here. So.
No, the one I really regret is picking 10 things and the for the second pick.
That I think is the weakest part. But he may love that one.
But now looking at it, that what's left, I'm like, oh, I should have shifted that
Yeah.
down. Anyway,
So
but that's what happens when you prep halfway through the draft.
right.
Could you even call that prep?
You come up with some good picks late.
I mean,
and wish you'd have
I'm
taken-
looking at all these picks, and this is going to be it's going to be a close one. I'm proud of all of us.
I got to say that Carrie came in. I mean, I don't want to say meek, but she kind of came in like a little bit understated. Like I was like,
It was kind of generic.
I'm like, did we kind of bring like brought her in from the stands? Did like we get her in over her head? And she has this cute little notebook, and I didn't see there was anything written on it, so I was kind of like, did she like what's going on? And then she just like command. I'm a little bit intimidated.
Yeah.
Let's see how the draft comes out.
She was throwing fastballs.
I'm just
she's
aiming for
throwing
third.
heat.
Looking at this list, it's actually a pretty damn good list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very interested to see which way the judge goes.
Yeah.
there,
So we'll see. Yeah. So we'll get him on here in a little bit, and we'll talk to you in a few.
Hey movie lovers, it's Jackson here from the Back to the Blockbuster podcast. If you've ever wanted to hear an amateur cinephile and an industry professional chat about film and television, then look no further, because every week my co-host Gaius and I, we bring you the latest industry news, break down the most recent trailers, try to beat the box office with our weekly predictions, and dive into our favorite movies on their anniversaries. And every second Friday, you can look forward to the Back to the Blockbuster spin-off, Deep Dives with Owen and Gaius, where the duo dissects a movie of their own choice. All this and more wherever you get your podcasts.
Bathymetrics, YouTube assist. Gonna point out all the shit that we missed. It's the draft judge, crushing dreams once again.
Look at Matt. Matt hasn't heard that.
Yeah, we've upgraded since you were last here. my
Production
friend.
value, fellas. That's production
Production
value.
value. Okay, welcome back. We have a draft judge, and because it's a subject that's very near and dear to me, wedding bands, and I've been in a band for a lot of my life now, and so I brought in a guy that's done all those gigs with me, the singer of your brother's band.
Yeah,
Brad.
and also studio mates. We kind of got to the relationship built over the studio. You know how you kind of like the band that's next door, and we were doing the podcast, and that's kind of how the relationship started, right?
Exactly. It was like the time I was recording overdubs in New York with J-Lo.
And we hit it off great.
And I said, Diddy. Anyway. No, but that is true. That is true that they were like in a room next door, but I don't think they wanted anything to do with this.
That's terrible. They should have.
It was the P. Diddy era. I kind of blocked that out.
If a Fleck was there, if Fleck was there at the time, then maybe you would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe I probably could have chummed up with that guy. You know what I mean? Did some cocaine or something with him. I don't know.
Had a fun night on the town at least.
Well, I'm assuming Affleck likes cocaine. I probably shouldn't besmirch his character like that.
I got a feeling that he's probably.
He went back for the second round of J-Lo, though. You know what I mean? And I don't blame the man.
After he got off the booze.
I actually thank you guys for having me on for the Wedding Singer episode. Not so much The Wedding Singer was like my favorite film, but I've kind of become that, you know. And there was probably one time in mine and Scott's life where we said like, oh, we got to play a wedding. But weddings paid for a lot of other things too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But nowadays, at our age now, you tell me, Scott, bring them on, man. Let's bring some joy in the world.
Yeah, you know what? They're almost always fun. I mean, I don't think we've ever really had a bad wedding. It's usually just crazy and fun, and we get paid pretty good money to keep doing what we're doing, and we have a great time.
Before we get into the draft stuff, I want to ask this question. Because
no, I can't disclose how much.
No, I don't want payments or anything. But I wonder, like, how do you guys consult with the groom and the bride before? Like what do we talk about, like a song that they want you to play? Do you guys try to learn something? Does that cost more? Like, how do we work that?
Well, it depends. I mean, if we usually say we'll learn like 2 or 3 songs, if maybe 2 or 3.
Depending.
And depending on what the song is. Like if they
we
ask
never
us,
promise.
yeah, if there's something like
Bohemian Rhapsody,
right,
that's our song,
right, or something's got a bunch of strings.
We probably could figure that out, actually. You know what I mean? But it would probably suck. But no, we would figure out a way to probably make that one pretty cool. But there are some songs that just like we couldn't do it. We're not passionate about it. It doesn't sound good. Doesn't work. You know.
The number one thing that happens is like they'll try to say, well, hey, can you send us your song list? And then we'll pick what we want. And it's like, I know Matt's had this conversation. I've had this conversation, and we're like, not to be a dick or anything, like we don't say that to them, but we know what we're doing.
We
like,
say cock.
Yeah.
Matt says, I have the microphone.
You will listen to every goddamn word that I have to say. Sorry, go ahead.
But going into it, yeah, it's like, but we just say, look, just trust us. We know what to do. We know how to work a crowd. We know how we change on the fly all the time. But you know, if there's songs, we will tell them, if there's songs you absolutely don't want us to play, if there's a song that you hate, oh, of course, tell us. But after that, just let us do our thing. You know?
I would have turned over the DJ's table if he would have played like Chicken Dance at my wedding. I would have probably just like
we've had the no Chicken Dance,
just jumped through and form tackled him.
We've had certain songs. Didn't somebody didn't want Shout?
I think so, man.
There was a couple songs that was like where it's like,
too many.
Are you sure?
Injuries can happen. Your cousin might have injured a woman.
We didn't get the insurance policy on this venue.
Yeah, shout's not allowed. You got a shout rider.
Yeah, you know,
Insurance
or
policies.
don't play country, or do play country, or whatever. You know, like we live in the Central Valley of California. Had this conversation the other day because we talked about it all the time. People are like, you know, they think of California as San Francisco and Los Angeles, and they think of cities, and they think of the beach, and they probably think of the mountains or something too. But where they don't really think about that much is where we live. We're actually sitting in a beautiful yard surrounded by orchards, and that's all we are. In fact, a lot of us here at this table, few of us, more than one, are farmers. So the point is, like, we come from Iowa, Iowa, California. And that's what we always would say. Like, somebody, I can't remember who I was talking to, but somebody that had been out for a while, and they had a different name for it, but it was like something like Iowa, California.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we definitely, you know, we'll say, hey, what genres do you want? What don't you want? And then we'll just kind of go from there.
Did they ever try to be like, oh, my cousin plays guitar, can he like play with you guys?
That happens every now and then, and it's rarely good.
That sounds about right.
You remember that fucking party we played where that guy came up and says, hey, I want to play drums.
That was so long ago, but yes.
That was a long time ago. This is like early days.
So it'd be easy to forget. You'd want to forget it, and we can't.
And so this guy comes up, he's like, yeah, man, I want to play drums. And his buddy was with him, and I think you were there with me, and he goes, well, is he any good? And the guy's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can play.
Oh, he's good. He can
yeah.
play. Like, he was so convincing. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit. Dude.
It wasn't just his drunkenness that kept him from he just had such a hard time, like just keeping the hands.
But that's why it's an interesting thing, right? Because like if the drummer's off, right, like it fucks
Game over.
everything up. So like even if it's not even like can he play a good fill, it's like can he play in time?
Right. And that was the problem. And it's not like we were playing freaking Tool or something. It was Sweet Home Alabama.
It was Sweet Home Alabama.
He just needed to be able to
How do
bang
you
a
fuck up
fucking
Sweet
chord.
Home Alabama?
every drummer from Iowa, California knows how to play Sweet Home Alabama.
Nate, did you try to open for that dude in Germany before you had ever had a show yourself? You're like, I can
did.
open for you. And you're like, you were ready to go
I
for your
would've.
first
I don't give a
performance
shit. I
in
was like,
Germany.
Hey, I was in Germany. It doesn't count.
And then the dude was kind of like, no. And then the dude gets up there and he's like classical guitar. So he was like, like
I was
playing with
like-
all his like fingers.
And I
And
was
just,
like, shit, I was going to play Wagon Wheel.
No, but we've had a few surprises. We've had some people come up and sing. There was a gig a few years ago where my voice was thrashed. I was sick, feeling like shit, and I sing the outfield.
Your Love.
Your Love. And I just couldn't do it. I just had no voice. And so a girl, one of the guests it wasn't a wedding, it was a private party. She jumped up and she did great. And it was cool because she was good. And then their people loved it. And so that made us look even better.
Yeah.
We let her jump up
Nice.
there. So it does work out sometimes.
And we've kind of, we do this for fun. As much as we like to take the music part of it seriously, like, I mean, given all the other, detriments of, my appearance and things like that over the years and, whatever, like, I'm not trying to be sexy. I don't want to be on a 15-year-old's wall. I just want to like play music with my friends. For the most part, even if it sucks, we can take it. You know what I mean? Make a laugh out of it, do something. I think the best thing that we do that other cover bands maybe don't do as much is we connect with the audience, man. I think that's the most important part, that we make them have fun.
Mm-hmm.
We make them feel like they're the center of the universe.
Get a few people laid.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully.
And we give the songs the respect that they deserve. We play the fuck out of those songs. I picture myself in an arena laying that shit down.
You give no
Like,
less than you do.
Yeah, and it makes it better because we don't just go through the motions. I've seen so many bands at bars where they're just going through the motions. And you're like, where's the energy? Where's there's nothing there.
And if you're interested in having Flying Blind play your wedding, email us at bezvideokingdom@gmail.com.
And have we already talked about tickets? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, we actually have a show coming up we have not talked about.
Oh, boy.
June 24th at Dying Breed in Oakdale, California.
And the tickets went on sale about 6 days ago.
Right.
And if they are any left, pick them up before they are gone, because this is going to be a sold out big time show.
We'll throw it on the
Great
socials.
venue.
So we'll get you links. But if they wanted to just type it into their keyboard.
It's on Eventbrite. It's Dying Breed. Flying Blind is the band. And I think if you Google those things.
Yeah, I think through Dying Breed socials, you should be able to find the tickets. And I think if you go to Eventbrite, search Flying Blind, you should be good to go.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking great. It's going to be fun. We haven't played there before. I've been to the venue a few times. It's just such a great place to see music. And so we're excited.
It might be sold out already, actually. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it went on sale 6 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
And the response has been amazing.
Hey,
Can't
we've
wait.
got a classic, a staple of this community making a pretty big appearance at a great venue. So
No,
it's
it'll
gonna
be great,
badass.
man. Like COVID, it ain't touching us no more. We beat this COVID. Okay, let's come out and have some fun. No, I mean, I can make jokes about COVID. I can make jokes about OJ too, right? I mean, is that
Too soon. Too soon. Actually,
the COVID or the OJ?
Brad made some jokes about a certain attack on America.
we
and
cut,
had to
we cut that out already.
I took it very seriously. I didn't joke. But
Okay.
it was just inappropriate.
Let's get into the reason why we're
Yeah.
here. We have a draft that we did, and we sent you the results. And being the expert that you are, you love movies
I love movies.
and you love music.
I love music.
You perform music all the time,
I perform it as often as I can.
right? And so we're hoping that you might be a good judge of what makes a good cover song in a movie. And so the one thing that we didn't do, and you may be wondering why we didn't pick any. We didn't do any biopics. Like we didn't pick like Richie Valens in La Bamba or anything like that.
Okay.
So if you're wondering
Okay,
about
that
that,
was ruled out.
Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah.
is Johnny Cash. None
Yeah.
of that stuff. Yeah.
So,
Right.
but other than that, we think we pretty much stuck to they had to perform it in the movie.
Right.
And that was kind of.
And we kind of left it open, lip syncing versus like, are they singing themselves? It was kind of
as long as the character is supposed to be singing, as long as the movie
Performing
is supposed to be performing, the character's supposed to be performing
the song. Yeah.
Then we count it, even though in fact they were not.
Right.
Sure.
So, with that being said, did you have any like kind of things that you were thinking of, like what would make a good pick? Like, what was your criteria going into
As
this?
a matter of fact, Scott, I did think of a few things that I would like to hear if I was gonna want to hear a cover song played in a movie. First of all, I kind of not knowing exactly what we were doing with the lip syncing part, I kind of felt like I wanted to see a song being performed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
More so than lip syncing, but some of those, what I'm going to touch on in a second, were very effective in other ways. So what I also wanted to hear was, how did the group or the band or whatever it was, knowing that most likely we're hearing a pre-recorded version of a live thing anyway, but how was it performed, man? Did I believe it? The most important thing to me by far was the moment that it created in the movie. And honestly, how that moment spoke to me personally.
How it made you feel.
How it made me feel, man. Right. And assuming that if it made me feel something very strongly, as unique as I might seem, a lot of people probably felt something similar when they saw that scene.
Right. That would be a good definition of memorable.
Yeah, right.
Is what I'm hearing.
Remember? Yeah. No.
I remember.
Okay.
So that was it, man. I mean, the biggest thing was to me is like, okay, is this a good cover? Is it a song I like? But ultimately, what was the moment, and how did the moment make me feel?
Got it.
Now,
Okay.
that is the interpretation of this particular judge, because certain things about music and experiences that I've had might be different than people that never played in a band or never, things like that.
Right.
So
If we switched most memorable to best cover song performed in a movie, I think that changes the whole thing, right?
yeah, right. Maybe best cover would be the cover that I feel like is performed the best, the tightest, whatever,
Better than the original.
Or the best actual song, which you actually are kind of doing that in a way. So, which is totally up to your interpretation. And so,
But the character performing it part or
Yeah.
being involved in the performance.
Right.
And which is what, like you guys tell me when you want to start going through the list, but
so did you put a score
okay.
to each team? And then don't tell us which team. I just want to know.
I did. I put a score to each team. I rated each team's grouping. So
they have a score.
So as simply as I could, and in such a quick fashion, I might later, if I had like more time to figure it out, I might rank the songs individually and then break it down, because that's more fair when judging the whole team rather than taking it like line by line. So in round one,
So
okay,
don't get into specifics yet. What we would like to hear are the scores from last to first,
Okay.
and not
Not
to
the teams.
just what the scores are.
okay,
It's numbers only.
In scoring, I ranked each song, each round. I gave a ranking 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I added all 4 rounds together.
And the lowest was the best.
The lowest was the best.
Okay, so low score is better. So what are the 4 scores?
so it's like golf.
Without matching to teams, what are the 4 scores?
So randomly chosen.
Yeah.
The scores are 12, 12, 10, and 6.
Oh, a tie for last place.
Tie for last place, and then just a couple points better.
And then
second place.
There was a
Then
clear
first is clear.
winner in my book. There was a clear winner in my
Okay.
book.
Okay.
So who that was, I have no clue.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is have you tell us. Well, I guess there's 2 tied. Should we make him break the tie, or do we want a tie for last?
I think a tie for last is probably okay.
Could you even break it?
Well,
Is there
I
a clear-
actually changed it last minute.
Oh,
Okay.
So there was a clear loser, if you will,
Perfect.
Then you made the tie.
ouch. This.
in this. But then I made the tie because I actually rethought it,
Okay.
and I liked my second choice better. And then it happened to break down that there were 2 12s instead of 1 11 and 1 13.
Well,
Okay.
He's spoken.
I feel better about that somehow.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I don't know.
First of all, these are always really difficult. It's very. It's very
I thought this was
difficult.
a really
Yeah.
close draft.
Like the ones that like when Scott and I did it originally, that might have been years ago.
Wow.
Even.
Yeah.
But years ago.
Probably about
I don't
At least
know.
a year. Yeah.
Close,
I don't keep
almost
track
2
of time anymore. You know? In fact, I think no one should. I think we should all stop keeping track of time. But
I stopped wearing a watch.
Sold.
that being said, I better hurry up. So
Which 2 teams, and then Brad will read the teams off.
Yep.
okay, so team tied for
the 12s,
tied
yeah.
for last. We're team number 4 and team number 2.
Team number 4 included Goose and Mab, You Lost That Loving Feeling, Top Gun, Julia Roberts, Kiss, Pretty Woman, Pee Wee Herman, Tequila, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, Wedding Flash Mob, All You Need Is Love from Love Actually. And Team 2 included Marty McFly, Johnny B. Good, Back to the Future, Jack Black, Let's Get It On, High Fidelity, The Seance Scene, Beetlejuice, Deo, Banana Song, Jessica Rabbit, Why Don't You Do Right, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Those are our 2 12-point teams.
And that was tough because like for example, you go I compare say Jessica Rabbit and Julia Roberts. Jessica Rabbit, although not Kathleen Turner's voice, far better singer than Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts, at least with camera tricks, never, ever, ever hotter than Pretty Woman, in my opinion. Never, ever, ever. Super cute, super sweet. If you like the rom-com, you know what I mean? It's even believable to some degree that she could be Cinderella to Richard Gere's Prince Charming.
Jessica Rabbit aged. She didn't age very well. But she had to go back for that plastic surgery later.
Yeah. It's
Kinda messed
obvious.
her up.
Well, I tell you what, but I just watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit literally the other night with my kids.
It's such a good movie.
It is great.
Was Judge Doom? Judge Doom was he scary for the kids? Oh no,
well,
your daughter's a little.
Well, my daughter's a little older, but my younger daughter has something about eyes, like people's like weird eyes,
That
I'm-
make 'em
I'm-
really
and those
crazy.
were really weird eyes.
I'm with her on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, that's
the
weird.
eyes are the.
So, but ultimately, like you had great lists all the way down. I mean, and we're talking about moments, okay? The reason why the Pee Wee Herman, that moment is fantastic, and that's actually what kicked it because I last minute switched the Beetlejuice to the Pee Wee Herman. I changed a 3 to a 4, and so that was really the change. And even like, okay, it's a real cover, it's a cool moment. It's not my favorite thing in the world, the Love Actually, you know what I mean? Like, but it was a great moment, you know what I mean? And if you bought into that moment, that was a really great version of that song with talented people playing it and band popping up everywhere.
Nate really bought into that moment.
Oh, yeah? I feel you.
I'm just saying
feel
you
you,
love the
man.
movie. I was trying to give you props.
I love that movie.
But I mean, the Goose and Mav, you've lost that love and feeling moment. I mean, that was a moment, dude.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody's as aged as me, but like, I was like, what were we, like 12 or something when that came out? I would imagine.
85.
It was it 85?
86.
Yeah, I thought it was
86?
80. So 12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that moment, I can still remember that moment with all those dudes, all those handsome guys, all sweaty in that bar, singing.
And the weird little.
And, excuse me, ma'am, I'll handle this.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise, I mean, I don't know if he can sing like Heath Ledger could sing, you know what I mean? But
He sold it though.
yeah, he did. He did, dang it. And, you know, he didn't get laid that night, but eventually he got laid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And Kelly McGillis is a lesbian. So, I mean, that makes it even more
Yeah, that's a big bonus
powerful.
point.
And
You
I
know?
bought it. I bought it when she licked his chin.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
are you
I
kidding
bought
me?
that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, those Slurpee kisses.
But I don't want to talk about the
I didn't know any
greatness
of
of
those
Kelly
things in
McGillis.
1985.
I don't want to talk about the greatness of Kelly McGillis. We're here to talk about this. So, and then
All right.
going through Marty McFly, gosh dang, that was great. I mean, what an amazing scene. The Jack Black, Let's Get It On. I actually rated that. It was a 2 on my list, and that for that particular grouping. What a great scene! What a great moment! And I love me some Jack Black, man. And I think that guy legitimately can sing, you know. Yep. So, and then So, anyways, what's next?
Now
Okay.
we got to hear the second place team.
Okay, the second place team.
So we will know the winner, but we'll go through the second place
I'll
first.
also, if you don't mind, I'll also go ahead and say that this 10 is a 4 and a 4 and a 1 and a 1.
Oh, wow.
So I really loved and hated this person's choices. But like your brother would always say, love equals hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you don't want
He says
indifference.
some interesting things.
You don't want. You don't,
He says some stuff.
Well, no, it's beautiful if you think about it. What sucks, what you don't want is indifference, man. You would rather evoke a strong emotion than evoke nothing, than just be stale bread. You know what I mean? So I get it. And that's why I love, team number 3 who had 10 on my list.
Team number 3 had the bus scene, Tiny Dancer, Almost Famous, Heath Ledger, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, 10 Things I Hate About You, The Commitments, Try a Little Tenderness, The Commitments, and the Damn Band, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Wedding Crashers.
Okay, let me tell you what would have closed the gap on this one, okay? I kind of judged harshly the fact that on the bus they weren't singing like Elton John was still playing in the background and they were all singing along. That being said, might be my favorite moment on this whole list because I love Almost Famous. I felt like in a really tiny way that we got to live a tiny bit of Almost Famous, sort of. So it touches me and maybe Scott even more. But in that moment, in that band, in that relationship, it got a 4.
So what you're saying is that there's this movie you really love, and in this moment that you love the most, where this bunch of people were singing a cover song.
Well, they were singing a cover song.
One of the round.
If we were drafting the most memorable moment.
Yeah, well, right.
It's the most memorable song performance. That was the moment.
No, I know. But
Jesus
see,
Christ.
I wasn't given the criteria of the lip syncing was okay. You know what I mean? Or lip syncing was in the group.
Did Scott not tell you that?
Yeah, see, I think maybe
After the draft.
maybe he loaded his team with non-lip syncing songs.
Yeah, interesting that he wouldn't have mentioned that. There was some discussion of how the rules should have been conveyed. I think we didn't follow that.
But they were not lip syncing. They were actually singing, though.
They were singing.
They were singing.
They
performed that song, you might say.
So I wouldn't say it was anyone's fault for not telling me as much as it's just my fault for being a dick that likes to.
But we didn't pick any lip syncing. We told ourselves we wouldn't pick any lip syncing, so they weren't included. So that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it was super hard for me to put that as number 4.
I also thought
I
didn't even think about that scene, and I was so pissed because I knew that you would love. I thought you would love that pick. But the thing is, you picked it 4 out of the first round.
Yeah, but see, that's
compared
Marty
to the other
McFly
compared to
the
singing Johnny Be
Yeah.
Good. Now that's also where talk about moments. That's where Marty's parents have their moment.
Right,
That's where
right.
that's right after like George knocks out Biff. You know what I mean? Like that was like one of the greatest moments ever. It makes you feel so happy. You know what I mean? Like you feel so joyful when that happens. So that was really hard. And then the Goose you lost that love and feeling.
So what other one did you hate?
What was the other 4-pointer for Team 3? What was the other 4-pointer?
That was and I didn't hate it. It was just a 4. Because it is a good moment, but the 10 Things I Hate About You, the Heath Ledger.
I regretted that pick.
Yeah.
Well, after I made it, I regretted it.
Yeah, I tell you, it was a good scene. Not as good a scene where Julia Stiles flashes her teacher or whoever that person was. That was a weird moment, But Shakespeare, Shakespeare makes you do weird things.
And I knew Try a Little Tenderness was a home run.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. See, but that band, it's like Jack Black. You know what I mean? It's like that band is so good. I mean, Glenn Hansard,
we talked about that.
from the Frames is in that band, and so it's a legit deal. And that singer, Andrew Strong is his name.
Yeah,
he was 16 years old. He looked like he was
talked about
40.
that.
Yeah. Looked like he was 40, and he sings his nuts off. So anyway,
Who wrote whose lines here? No, no.
See,
I didn't pick anything for that movie, so I didn't.
I'm just sit down.
We knew there was some pandering.
I could have picked Mustang Sally. I
Mustang Sally would have hit a home run too with me. Man.
I should have taken all the commitments.
You should have picked 4 songs by the Commitments. Yeah. That would have been.
Well, he hasn't seen the movie, so he couldn't.
That's true,
but you must have hopefully heard the song.
I've watched that YouTube clip a bunch of times after we did our draft,
and that was a great moment too. It was like the peak and the end of the Commitments all at once.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. They never sounded better, and they were just an absolute mess, and they were just falling apart and unraveling.
Spoiler alert!
Really great movie.
So you also dropped a 1 on the Dan Band, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh my God, that was okay. See, okay. So again, it's kind of in the background. But
They jump back to it a few different times, though.
But the fact is, right when you start hearing it, like right when he goes off, because that one starts so tender, and you think it's just some random, because that's a real band in, I believe, Orange County, right? So it's like, you can hire that band right now to play your wedding. Nate, no, just kidding. Nate's happily married. I know that for sure. But well, I hope so.
I sure am.
Okay. But I mean, you could hire that band, and so they look just like these random dudes. And apparently Dan is an ex theater guy or whatever, and that concept is just so freaking hilarious.
The theatrics.
That all of a sudden, if you're not worried about being offensive to like grandparents or whatever they're at your wedding, but it's just like all of a sudden you just look up really quick, and it's like, I can remember cracking up in the theater at that scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a good singer. Even as theatrical as he gets, So
let's start talking about collusion and how I cheated again, and about who won this draft.
Team number one is has been declared the winner, and that would be Whitney Houston. I Will Always Love You, The Bodyguard.
Okay, let me ask you this: Team number one, would anybody else have picked Whitney Houston at first?
First?
If you had the first
No,
pick?
he took my
Fuck
first.
no.
Brad took my first.
I said I would have picked it as my number one.
I have a hard time thinking that's not the greatest cover on this list.
Yeah.
Personally, Whitney Houston is a freaking phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
And that song is absolutely beautiful. And to hear Dolly Parton sing it, or even talk about what she was writing about when she wrote it, which she was talking about leaving this country variety show, right, that she was on in the 70s, to become like Dolly Parton, right? And it's like, and so she's singing that, she's writing that song to this dude that was like her mentor, boss, nemesis, all at the same time. And so it's like, and she was saying, I'm gone, but but I've had it, but that's so Dolly, and I'm a really big Dolly Parton fan too. So, and I'm a big Whitney Houston fan because she liked the crack. But no, is that too old? Is that too fresh? Wow, is that too fresh?
Soon. It's too
I'm sorry.
Okay.
She liked Bobby and the crack, and that was the end of the greatest freaking voice of our generation, the greatest pop voice of our generation, man. I mean, that chick. And I've told these dudes I want to sing that song. I keep waiting for the phone to ring all night. See photograph beside my bed. I brought it up a long time ago, and it didn't receive any love at all. But I think we could do an alt rock version of that song, and it would be amazing. But anyway, that was my number one cover on the whole list, followed by The Commitments being my number two overall on the whole list, followed by the Dan Band, and then strangely followed by another one on Team one.
Well, we've got Toga Party, Shout, Animal House, Soggy Bottom Boys, Men of Constant Sorrow, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and the restaurant scene, Say a Little Prayer for You, My Best Friend's Wedding.
Well, okay. First of all four of those are awesome to me. They're just like the scene as far as all that's created. And I'm a geek. I like My Best Friend's Wedding. Okay, Dermot Mulroney, I love him. Underappreciated actor, Dermot Mulroney. If he was a little taller, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, so those were 2 1s and 2 2s in my book. So Whitney Houston being number one, and it got the number one overall. What was the next one down, Brad?
The Shout, Toga Party.
Dude, I mean, come on, man. I was like 5 years old when I got to watch Animal House for the first time. It was freaking amazing. There were boobs. There was all kinds of just amazing stuff. And there's this freaking band that these crazy college kids love so much, Otis Day and the Knights. And first of all, they you remember the song Shamalama Ding Dong in that movie? That's a great song too. You put the Ramalama in my Shamalama in my Ramalama Ding Dong, I believe that one.
I don't think Brad's seen that movie. Nate, have you seen Animal House?
My
been a
God,
long time.
Mike, you call this a podcast?
We say that often.
Dude, Animal House has to be on your upcoming list because I really think it might be the most perfect comedy of all time. Like it's an amazingly great.
It's on my list. I will pick that at some point.
It's anyone who hasn't seen Animal House,
and there's going to be a lot to talk about too because there's some scenes that are going to be a little bit troubling for our times.
Well, yeah, 78,
but we can talk about
it. Stuff happened back then that didn't, like we talk about it all the time, you get away with so much stuff. like not letting every kid bat and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Look, by the way, I'm all for letting every kid bat. Okay, let every kid bat. What the hell? What do we care? You know what I mean? Like we can they can learn how hard the world is when they're 7 or 9 or something. You know, let every t-ball kid bat. But that being said, every kid needs to watch Animal House.
7 or 9. At 7 or 9.
Okay, so Shamalama, when you put the Ramalama in my Shamalama Ding Dong, right? Or Shamalama, which one is it?
I don't remember.
But all I know is you put something in his Ramalama Ding Dong. You know
And
what I
good
mean?
things happen.
And then what was the next
Man
one?
of Constant Sorrow.
Man of
Oh
constant
my
sorrow.
God, what? See, okay, so that is actually 2 of the greatest moments in that film. And that film I love. I love it. But the first time
The
when
studio
they're
time?
singing into the can
Yeah.
in the studio,
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden, it's not George Clooney's voice, but all of a sudden you hear this voice and it's like, oh wow, that's good, and like that's so cool.
The backup
And-
parts.
yeah, and it just
Yeah.
everything just came together so great. But then as that song, while everything is happening, while that song's kind of building throughout the movie, and then next thing you know, they're at the
Campaign
Palmer
rally.
Stokes campaign rally, and they end up singing it, and it's like again when they start singing it,
And the crowd
like,
recognizes the song?
goes crazy. Like that made me feel amazing, you know. So and that was a number 2. That got a 2.
Yeah.
But and then the fourth one was, which one was it?
Say a little prayer for
'Cause
you.
that was a 2 also.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I love.
Yeah, it's almost like you guys are like bandmates and old friends. I don't know if I'm reading that right.
Well,
but it's
all I know is
almost like
probably
Scott
I'm not going to
knew.
get asked back to judge. You know what I mean? Because
Oh no, you anytime it's Scott's choice. I assume you'll be back.
It's almost like you've had your hand underneath his buttock while a ball gets passed around a little
Yeah,
bit.
it gets weird when you talk about the history, Brad.
That was the
You know
last
what I
show. That was just the last show they played.
mean? Yeah, right.
Whatever. I can say whatever I can say. You guys won't believe me, but
I don't believe you.
We did not talk about this ahead of time.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
we don't believe
But what I
Yeah.
do think
We're
is
gonna give
that
you shit, though.
when you have, look, I feel so close to like Brad's brothers in my band. I feel so close to Nate. I grew up with these guys like they were young guys when I wasn't quite as young as them. But dudes I totally love and respect and look up to for their own things, and Zach as well, who's not here. And if I knew you better, I would,
Terry's good
I
people.
believe the table's good.
She's
Cheers,
good
one.
people, even though she got last.
Well, she did tie. So
She actually tied for
but what's
third.
funny-
Tied for
So she's
third.
I
actually
think I was
third
probably
and a
the
half.
first
She tied for
loser to
third.
start out with, though.
Well,
Maybe.
Zach usually loses mine too when I judge. You know what I mean? And the
well,
time before when
he's
I judge.
been on a run lately.
My bar was fortunately set very low.
but he's in second place in the overall standings now. I
This
believe.
is true.
Oh,
This is true,
wow.
according to the Bev
Wow.
metrics.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, so
Also,
let's move on to the next segment, which is there might be a few that we missed, and maybe you can help us out with that.
How the fuck could we miss that one? I just don't understand. It's our also ran. You idiots.
So yeah, were there any that popped into your mind that you thought, how the hell did we not think of that one?
Not really. 'Cause it's honestly very hard to even remember things like that. So I would have to go back, like just off the top of my head. Like if I had time and I did some more research,
Yeah.
I would probably say, I would probably come up with something that we would miss.
Well, one thing that we didn't do was nobody wore wear the T-shirt of the movie that we just did, of the wedding. So nobody picked anything from The Wedding Singer, which there's definitely, that's what inspired this category. I guess we'll ask you, if think about the Wedding Singer, which song do you think is the most memorable from that to you? And I'll give you a few choices maybe if you want.
Well, for different reasons, but probably, I like the you spin me around like a record.
It starts the
version.
movie. It's a great intro.
and I also like when he's like in bad shape and these things like love stinks. That's kind of funny.
Those are the two that
Yeah,
we
so Nate
debated.
liked the spin
like
you right
right
around,
around.
and I thought love stinks. But like if I was going to pick one of those two,
Yeah.
but then Brad
I said ladies' night. John Lovett's rocking out the ladies'
Yeah.
night.
You know
'cause
what's
he's
really
got
funny,
he's got the
Brad?
moves too.
That was in my head. Yeah, good luck fighting a wedding singer that can move and shake like this.
So the ones that I am most regretful of missing were all things from Pitch Perfect.
Right.
I can't believe you
I
didn't
can't
pick
listen to
anything.
Ace of Base. I saw the sign
I saw the
without.
sign.
It's perfect now.
So the funny thing though is like that's in that movie is like pitched as the shitty. Like that's the one they all.
But I
they don't
can't. Like I listen to the
And
80s on 8, and I can't not hear
I'm
Ace
with
of
you.
Base now with its.
I love
it's
Ace of
perfect
Base.
now.
How about that Cup song or whatever that?
So that's
Not a
original
cover, though,
the
right?
movie.
No, that's a cover.
Is it?
A cover of what?
I researched it. It's
Like a folk
it's like a
song?
folk song or
Oh,
something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that
Okay.
From what I saw,
So-
but I never saw the movie, and I didn't want to.
But so there's like a bunch of songs that are mashups,
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
that's
it's hard-
kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's tough there. But in the shower, she sings Titanium, like a
Yeah.
little piece of titanium. Damn, bro! On so many dimensions, I love it. And they do a piece of No Diggity in the pool scene.
Okay.
And that's really good too. And then in Pitch Perfect 3, one of the bands they're battling with does a bit of Zombie,
Oh, okay.
and it is amazing.
Yeah.
Like a country, kind of like fast country version of Zombie. It's incredible.
So there was one that I wasn't sure if it was going to qualify or not, but I love the moment in the film, and it kind of just gave me goosebumps in it. Moneyball, the song "The Show."
Yeah.
And so she's not technically performing it. She hums it when they're picking out the guitar. So she doesn't sing, but then he plays the tape
Yeah.
in the car. And I didn't know if that was going to count or not. And so it was like just on the edge of do I draft it or not. And so I don't know, but that was just such a cool moment. in
She
that
does.
film.
She does sing
She
a little
sings
bit
it.
in the store.
Does she sing
a little
words?
bit. A little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
So then,
no, I'm with you. I didn't know that was a cover.
yeah, it's a song by an Australian artist, and I'm blanking on her name. But yeah, it was released like a couple years before that movie came out.
Okay.
So
How about reality bites? Add it up.
The only thing that I
Hey, that's my bike.
yeah, that I thought about his band, actually I was thinking of Violent Femmes, you know what I mean?
The Violent Femmes. They added up.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize the name of that song. Sorry, shows you how much of a Violent Femmes fan I like Violent Femmes. I've never really
Carrie,
spent that much time.
do you have anything that you thought about drafting?
Since I'm the loser, the unpopular Love Actually film, would I have fared better if I went with Mariah's All I Want for Christmas?
Oh,
Because she
shit.
knocked that
That's
little
a good
girl.
one.
That little
She's
girl
good.
killed
Oh, that's
it.
right, at the
I think I
very
picked
end.
wrong though.
I think that would have been a better pick from that movie.
Wow, yeah. So you go Mariah's Mariah, you know what I mean? But honestly,
But because the little 12-year-old girl, she sang it
She
in
sang-
the
she sang
movie.
that.
Yeah,
She
she
sang
actually
it.
sings
She did the
it,
performance in the
Yeah,
show.
and the little kid drums.
Yeah.
what
Would that
song-
have at least
or-
been
yes.
better than
Yes.
see?
Or Billy Mack, Christmas is All Around Us is essentially a cover
I wasn't sure.
of himself.
You know what though? I kind of want to stay with the Christmas because then we have the other shower scene with Will Ferrell and yeah.
Baby, it's
would
cold
Elvis-
outside.
Yeah, would that have
Oh,
counted?
yeah.
Is that
Honestly,
too-
that was a great.
There are some
moment.
good ones.
I had that
do
on- I
love
had
me
that on
some-
my list,
I
too.
do love me some
I
Elf
didn't
for
go.
sure.
What about
Hold on.
My Guy being turned into My God in Sister Act?
I had Sister Act.
Okay,
then
so
I took
what
it off.
about what I was saying? I don't know what she's saying,
But
but
not
what
that one,
about
though.
Lauryn Hill was in
Yes,
Sister
exactly.
Act too?
Yeah.
It was. I had
It has to be like if Lauryn Hill has to sing the best one of
Oh,
the best
Happy
covers.
Day.
Yeah.
that whole Oh Happy Day performance.
Nate, when you
Memorable.
said a cappella earlier, and you're like, it's not Pitch Perfect. I thought you were going to go with American Pie. Do you believe in magic? Which is that terrible.
Shooba-dooba-doo-wah.
Yeah,
Shooba-doo.
he's so terrible in that, but it is
No,
memorable
but
because he sucks.
He was feeling it.
No, actually,
He was feeling it.
the one that I had on my list was These Eyes from Superbad.
I had that here too.
These Eyes.
Oh,
Michael
that's
Cera?
right. At the party.
And they're all
Poor guy.
They're all listening. Coked up.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then
why
the
did
fight
nobody pick
starts.
Will Ferrell?
Well,
Dust in the Wind. Oh, how did nobody? I stayed.
That's
I
right.
figured.
or Time to Say Goodbye in Step Brothers
Oh.
at the end.
Holy shit. Catalina One mixer.
I'm gonna redo my entire list.
Oh my
What about just going with people keep talking about people? I mean, that is a hell of a performance. Just for Dale.
Oh my gosh.
Just for Dale
Those
in
are
the
all
bedroom.
good.
And he's got
Damn
one
it.
more, Afternoon Delight in Anchorman, when they all stop and start singing.
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
That is a great one.
We suck.
Rockets in
But
flight.
you go back to Step Brothers, like you go back because you could do the Adam Scott, driving down the road doing
Sweet Child of Mine.
with his family.
Well, actually,
that would have been the better
here's one I
acapella.
didn't think of at all. But what about Free Fallin'? If we're talking about singing on the
Jerry
radio,
Maguire.
and Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
You want to do the draft again?
Sing along with the
Okay.
radio again, though.
we know Brad's take on this. What would your vote have been on animated? Because like, would Donkey from Shrek, would Eddie Murphy count as a Monkey's
I
cover?
would have totally bought. Totally bought any. You know, unless I was instructed not to. You know what I mean? I'm all about animated films.
So,
and people performing them.
Something that I thought you would definitely appreciate, Blues Brothers, but I didn't know exactly which song to go with. But I want Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. You know, you. At the
I
end.
need you. Yeah, that's a great one.
One other caveat we didn't really talk about.
Rawhide from Blues Brothers.
Rawhide would have been great too.
What about changing lyrics? Because
Stand by your man, dude.
Dr. Evil, Spy Who Shagged Me, when he does Just the Two of Us,
Oh, yes.
Mini Me.
Yes.
That's a pretty badass little.
I say changing lyrics or rearranging and changing lyrics is legit. I think.
I think.
So
it
I
could
almost
fly.
did Goofy Goober Rock, but again, not to go with an animated, but SpongeBob, because I
Is that the SpongeBob movie?
yeah.
I have not seen that. Surprise.
So I've got three.
I had kids too early, I think. I was,
Yeah, my kids never
was-
got
there was
it.
the time- yeah.
They didn't get the whole SpongeBob.
I've got three more rom-com ones. So one from one that was chosen and did well was the karaoke scene in My Best Friend's Wedding. Just don't know what to do.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz,
which is like terribly performed,
It's
but
terribly
super
performed, but
memorable.
did you
very
stay away
memorable.
because it was a karaoke scene?
I stayed away
or-
because it was like, I think, so poorly done. You know, like
Okay,
she's so
memorable,
terrible,
but-
but it's very memorable.
You could have gone the movie Duets. You know.
Oh, so
I was going to
love-
do You're So Vain.
No, I
How to
really
Lose a
love
Guy in 10
duets
days.
too.
with the-
And Goop, actually, she sings. She's a good singer. She and Huey.
No, for sure.
Do it.
Everyone on that's a good singer. You know what I mean? As far as what we think of as actors, except for Huey, I guess we think of Huey as a.
Yeah.
as a-
So Benny and the Jets from 27 Dresses. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. It's a good one. And then my last one, Can't Hardly Wait. Oh. Paradise City.
Oh, that's
Oh,
William gets up,
Yeah.
he gets
when he had his
hammered,
Williams moment.
and he gets
That's
up and
right.
just kills it. Oh,
that's good. I like that a lot.
Those are good, man.
okay. What about? And not this isn't an actual pick, but Bohemian Rhapsody, would that count from Wayne's World? Was that a
I would
lip
totally
sync or
think
was
that's,
that a?
that's the same as Almost Famous.
That's what I was
It's
kind of.
exactly.
Are they actually singing, or are they just
They are.
mouthing it?
They're
Well,
lip
there's that one
syncing.
part where the guy that's about to puke goes, "Let me go."
That's
Let me
yeah.
go."
So I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like
he's definitely
I feel like
talking,
that
so I
movie
think
put
they're-
that song back on the map. So to me, it
Yeah.
could have
Yeah,
considered
I-
it
That's
memorable,
actually-
but I just
totally
didn't
agree with
know
you.
if it was.
I totally agree with you on putting it back on the map.
One more to go, and it's I mean, super heartfelt, like emotional moment. But you know, after you've picked up some hitchhikers on the road, you need to cheer them up a little bit, and so you start going, Mock, yeah, yeah, bird, yeah.
yeah.
I think I almost pulled the
Okay.
trigger on that. and I bailed out at the
man.
last second.
Clark and Ellen sang that one in the beginning, beginning of the road trip and Vacation too.
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
Dude.
that's a really good
Dang.
one.
You
I'm
gotta
just
double.
wondering how. So two great artists like Carly Simon and James Taylor decided that was a song that. And the other thing is like, what the F were we thinking of in the 70s? That was actually cool, man. Like that song got popular. It's like
You know what's crazy is I didn't even realize. I thought that Jim Carrey just kind of like made that up, and I thought that was like just them goofing on
You know
it.
what, though?
And it came on the radio one day, and I was like, "Wait, this was real? They did it just like the real song."
dude, go
Yeah.
back and watch Vacation because Clark and Ellen nail it.
I
too,
love
by
it.
the way.
20 years from now, we'd be
Yeah.
like, we were singing songs about Panda. And they're like, come on, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. The other one was he does Someone to Love in Cable Guy. Don't you want somebody,
Oh, that was
somebody
great.
to love.
That was great.
Where he does the karaoke in front of everybody.
Tonight, it's our turn. That was a
Well,
great
shit.
I have a whole bunch more, but let's move on.
All right, so we need to make sure we're talking up the Flying Blind show again.
Thank you, guys.
Flying Blind,
Appreciate
June
it.
24th. So if the tickets are sold out, then they will be selling them at the door. I'm
They hold back tickets for the door.
Yeah.
Line
I'm
up
going to buy
early.
a block of like 200. So
Well, that
You can get it for a
sells it
minute,
out.
if you want.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so come on out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah,
No,
super
we
excited
don't
about
get
it.
to being guys who was once our career, now is our hobby. You know, we have families, we have girlfriends, we have jobs, we have all kinds of stuff that keeps us from taking it all that seriously. So we play usually when we get called, you know? And so we don't get that many opportunities anymore to play for our friends or fans or people that like to just come out and watch music. So it's really cool to be able to invite people out instead of saying, "Oh yeah, we're playing this wedding, we're playing this fundraiser, we're playing this, you know, what happens? Reunion.
Oh, yeah. Come crash.
I don't know if we've played a reunion in a long time.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, and then we've got the Catalina Wine Mixer at the State Theater. Tickets go on sale June 1st. Bev's Video Kingdom is hosting that event.
August 12th, 2023. Put it on your calendars, folks. It's going to be a time. It's going to be fun.
So great.
All right, what's next?
Yeah, what are we doing next? Does anybody know?
So we're getting here towards the end of May, and Memorial Day. It's not just a weekend for barbecues. It's also a time to remember those who have fallen defending this nation. And so we're going to go to a very powerful movie, and we're going to hit Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks and company. So, huge movie, a groundbreaking movie, and we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
that one.
That one definitely just is a spectacle,
and we might have a really cool guest.
Hopefully,
Zach, if he gets off the toilet ever.
Yeah,
maybe he can try to line up someone from the armed forces.
Speaking of dropping bombs,
Carrie White, thank you so much for being here.
So much.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you so much.
2-episode run, filling in for the foul and disgusting Zach.
I appreciate coming in dead last. There's nowhere to go but
nowhere to
from
go
here.
up.
No,
so
hey, you did not come in last. You tied for third.
That's right. Don't ever let anyone tell you
I'll
otherwise.
take that.
So there's still only one guest that's got fourth at this point.
Yeah,
right?
soloed last place.
Yeah, soloed last place. But yeah, thank you so much. We'd love to have you back anytime you want to come back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.